The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. You landed here and it's no mistake. You best believe this could be your break. Rub-a-dub-dub, check out the hubs inside. A winning team is here to be your guide. Oh, my friend, you've been looking for a brand new day. I got good news, only a click away. You can click on any hub, 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 hub. You are sure to feel the love, 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 love. Got some stories in my book, hope you'll take the time and look. The message in this simple read, teens, young adults, help them succeed. Scroll on down, got more to say. Go blogs, let's take it away. And if you choose not to do a thing that will ever cause me not to win, when you know your worth, no need to beg. Selling with no pressure is more fun. Instead, financial freedom has been calling you. Come join a hub, see what it will do. Come on and dance along with me. We go into the next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level. 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 Next level with Keith. The next level. The next level. The next level. Next level with Keith. And if you choose not to do a thing that will ever cause me not to win, when you know your worth, no need to beg. Sailing with no pressure is more fun. Instead, the next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith. The next level, the next level, the next level, next level with Keith.
Welcome to the next level with Keith,
The next level,
where clarity replaces
next level,
confusion
next
and
level.
simple systems lead to real freedom. Every episode begins with intention, music that centers your mind, lifts your spirit, and prepares you for transformation. This is your space for growth, your place to reset, your moment to rise. Rethinking your thinking, because when you shift your mind, you shift your money. Stack and grow, where small, intentional steps turn into lasting wins. Simple strategies, real progress. Your circle, your currency, because your network matters. Mobile money moves, business, income, and empowerment from the device in your pocket. This isn't just talk. It's guidance. It's strategy. It's movement. Welcome to the next level with Keith. Let's begin.
Well, let me say welcome back to the next level with Keith. I'm excited. I try to stay excited because that's the way to go. All right. So yes, welcome back to episode 13. This is podcast episode 13. Wow, wow. And I feel like I'm just getting warmed up here. I feel like I'm just getting warmed up here. So again, thank you for joining with me tonight. Tonight is going to be a very interesting night. I'm seeing that in my mind's eye. I'm kind of foreseeing it's going to be a very different kind of broadcast. All right, it's going to be very unscripted in a way, but to me very meaningful because of some recent experiences that I've had, and I'm going to share that with you tonight. All right, so I want you to just kind of lay back and just relax a little bit, and it may be a long night, but I'm telling you, I think it's going to be a fun night. All right. So hang in there with me, and we're gonna have fun on this podcast, episode 13. Again, I want to thank all of you. You know where you are. You're on Spotify. You're on Amazon. You on. Oh my God, where? You're everywhere. All right, you're everywhere, and I'm loving. I'm loving it. iHeartRadio. All right, Podbean. I mean, what can I say? I appreciate you. Those of you on YouTube, and everywhere else where you're listening from. I appreciate those of you who have been responding with your messages and your compliments and even your criticism. I welcome that as well. If you feel like I need to do something that's different or improve something, feel free to share that. I don't mind. Like some people say, I don't have a thin skin. I'm here to grow and help you grow. And sometimes we don't want to always hear the niceties. Sometimes things may sound a little off or may sound a little discomforting, but it's for our good, for my good. So I welcome all of that. So tonight, before I begin officially this segment, uh, I want to kind of look at something that just happened. Happened, in fact, happened today that was very powerful that I want to share. But you've heard me talk about my book and how I was glad that I was able to actually completed the book. And, I was told by a publisher, well, specifically by someone in the publishing company, that it was never going to happen. And the person sounded very passionate about it when they said it. I'm like, wow. Anyway, it is out. But I've talked about the book and that kind of thing. And at this point, even if it didn't sell one copy, just to have me complete that milestone for me was worth it. It was very fulfilling for me, right? And it meant a lot to me in my own decision making and decision to start something and complete it and to see it as something I can leave for my kids, as a testament that dad can start and complete something, and so can you. But I've talked about my book, yes, but I've never really talked about the book. The book. In my hand, you're seeing a Bible, and this Bible holds to me very sentimental and powerful memories. And when I bought this Bible, it was because I went through a very defining spiritual experience. It was, I was around 25, 26 years old. All right. I had a very strong spiritual encounter. And the next day, I think it was the following week, I went and I purchased this Bible, and I've had it since. But this book, this Bible here, it's a very powerful book. And I think that a lot of times as we do things in the temporal world, the physical realm here, we tend to sometimes forget the spiritual components and how important it is and how foundational it is. That's why you may hear me say from time to time, my source is not the YouTube. My source is not views. My source is not clicks, likes, is not comments, is not money. My source is God. When you kind of lock that into your soul, you understand what it means to be locked into the source, the real source. Nothing else really can take the shape, right? Your perspective is different. So you don't proceed with desperation or anxiety. All right. or extra unnecessary stress. Because as you know, life has enough of stress that it gives you on a daily basis. And we don't need any more doses of stress. All right. So this book right here means a lot to me. And what inspired this episode was a passage that really spoke to me, and I believe will speak to others as they hear it. It's so interesting. And if you know the book of Ecclesiastics, now before I go further, you see this Bible here. You know, we live in a very we call it political correct world, right? It's kind of weird. You know, God is she, is he, who know there was a God, who know what it was, and all kind of different thoughts and that kind of thing. Is it this name, that name? I'm not into all of that unnecessary complexity. As a matter of fact, what I like about this book, it tells me some very foundational things like the spirit will lead into all truth. The spirit. It didn't give you a religion name. It didn't give you a Bible name. It didn't give you a particular um church name, right? He said the spirit will lead into all truth. I will guide you into all truth. That's very, very powerful, very profound to me, right? You know, we said this is the word of God, right? The Bible is the word of God. That's what we say. But if you think about it, in this Bible, we have women that spoke, men that spoke, boys. In the Garden of Eden, it said the snake spoke, or the drag, or whatever, the serpent spoke, and you know, and angels spoke, and demons spoke. So when you say word of God, yes, Bible contains the word of God. It does. And the word of God is outside the Bible as well. It's everywhere, right? But I said it to say this. The last 2 days I felt really, really, really sick. Like I was coughing profusely, uncontrollably sometimes. And I went to an event yesterday, day before, and I was fighting tooth and nails to perform without coughing. And it seemed like this was a very congested. Not sure how it came about suddenly, but it was really intense. This horrible, deep chest cough. And today, everything was saying, Keith, don't do the show tonight. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Come on now. You're coughing like crazy. It's gonna look pretty bad. What are you doing? And they said, you know what? I'm gonna do the show tonight. I'm gonna do the show tonight. And when I came home, lay down, I felt even worse. And I was coughing and on and off. And it seemed like it was getting worse as as it gets later. And I sat there and I lay down for a little bit, to get some rest before the show. And I was coughing, then I got up. When I got up, you know, I was having second thoughts again. And then something to look in your chest to draw. And I looked at my chest to draw. And what did I see on my chest to draw? You're never gonna guess. Olive oil. Olive oil, my friend. Olive oil. The voice said to me, I would say the spirit said to me, why don't you go over there? Take 2 capsules of that olive oil. And believe me, I walked over there and I declared the word. I said, God, you know this body. You create this thing. You know what's going inside my body. And you tell me to go and drink this olive oil. And so I did. And when I did, instantaneously, I felt my chest cleared up. I can't even explain it. My entire chest cleared up. The cough subsided almost to a zero. It was like at a 10 to a zero, maybe 1%. All right. And when I did cough after that, it felt different. It felt like a different cough. It wasn't like the same, like almost uncontrollable kind of like, where's that coming from? So, you know, I'm gonna big up God tonight on this show because I think He likes when we big Him up. He likes when we show Him off, especially if He give us a platform where people are watching from all over the world who know where you're watching from or what you might be going through. Tonight, I was to go and get my other shirt because I was coming harm and dangerous tonight with my red shirt. And when I called the printing place, the lady told me that her son is not feeling well, and so she has to rush out now. That's why she didn't make it have it done for me. And so she had to rush out to take her son to the emergency. You know what I told her? I just really told me. I said, young lady, when you go home, speak the word over your son, declare what God says, and give your son olive oil. And I promise you, I'm gonna hear a testimony tomorrow that things worked out okay. Yes, I know. A lot of you may say, "Listen, I don't believe in that stuff. That whatever spooky stuff. I don't believe in that." That's okay. You know what I mean? That's some superstitious stuff, and it's not real. That's okay. You know, if you were to travel to one of those deep places in the Amazon, where those one of those tribes are, those people are, who are not accustomed to our way of life. I have no idea about our modern era. And there was a plane that dropped a Rolex watch in their bushes over there. And they found that watch. And they're looking at it with amazement, like, huh, this thing, what's this Rolex? And they're looking at this watch like in amazement. And you went over there and see them with the watch. You'd be like, oh, it's nothing. It's just a watch. Imagine they say to you, no, it just came from nowhere. There was no creator behind this watch. It just came out of thin air. Would that make sense? Would that even make sense? It came out of thin air. No, the watch had a creator. The watch had a designer. All right. So all we see around us, including ourselves, we have a designer. All right. So you can take it for what it's worth. And I just try to be obedient. And I try to share what I believe will be of benefit to you, the viewer out there. So in the same Bible, this passage came to me that inspired this particular podcast segment. And it's from Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 2. And we're in a time, we're in a time where a lot of people are going to be facing some economic storm. I really believe that. We're heading for a very serious economic storm. And I see two kind of people that's going to be affected by this storm. One is the one who's ignorant of it. They didn't really know what was going on. They were busy dealing with their struggles, their problems, their situation. They didn't know what was going on. And those people, I can give some understanding or more understanding. They were ignorant of what was to come. And there was another set of people who knew. They heard, they listened, all right, they heard enough, but they did not take action. They did not do anything about it, all right, because maybe when it came to them, it wasn't in the package that they liked. Maybe the person wasn't pretty enough. Maybe it wasn't handsome enough. Maybe the voice wasn't deep enough. Maybe the person didn't have the accolades behind the name enough. It was too simple for me, so I didn't react when the word came. But that's all right. You see, I believe that, you know, sometimes we get messages in all different kind of ways. And I'm learning that I can get an answer from a child, even an animal. We've seen storms in the world where the birds can tell us what's going to happen before we even know. The birds knew and they flew differently. Animals knew and they ran to the mountaintop. And we human beings just there on the beach until the tsunami came and washed us away. But that's another book, another chapter. But at the title of this episode tonight says, knowledge is power. Or should I say, knowledge is not power. Let me that distinct correction. Knowledge is not power. Application of knowledge is. I say it again. Knowledge is not power. Application of knowledge is. And really, it's really going to be up to you and the choice that you make, given with what you are exposed to. All right. So, again, welcome to Next Level with Keith. We're here to help the freedom chasers turn what? Turn ideas into income, insights into action, and opportunity into transformation. All right. Listen, we live in the most information-rich era. We know that. You know, in these days, we are not lacking when it comes to information. As a matter of fact, I think we have information overload. If you think about it, every day people watch videos, attend webinars, read posts, listen to podcasts, how to build wealth online, learn about affiliate marketing, digital branding, AI tools, e-commerce, and countless of other opportunities. It's out there. However, here's the paradox. Here's the paradox. People consume the most information, or people who consume the most information are usually the ones who have the less results. They produce the less results. Why, you ask? Because knowledge alone does not create change. Application of the knowledge is what does. You can watch hundreds of fitness videos. Oh yeah, and there's a lot of them out there. But if you never exercise, nothing is going to change. We know that, right? The online economy rewards doers, not just listeners. Real progress begins when we shift from information consumption to knowledge application. And that's real important to get into your minds. All right. You know, and that's why we talk about rethink your thinking. That's kind of where it starts from. Rethink your thinking is it's a real serious, mm, a really serious thing. And before I dive further into that aspect of it, I'm gonna have a moment for partners at this moment.
This moment is for builders, visionaries, and brands with purpose. If you want access, alignment, and momentum, not just motivation, this is your step forward. Join the Next Level with Keith channel members. Whether you're a freedom chaser, freedom supporter, next level insider, or next level builder, this is where growth gets structure and community becomes currency. And for partners with a mission, we don't just promote brands. We position purpose. Bring your cause, your company, your message, and let's amplify it with intention and impact. Membership opens the door.
Women and Men of Excellence Outreach Ministries is a global church without walls. We're serving communities through live services, prayer intervention, and outreach that changes lives. Support our $500 monthly giving drive at wamoe.org/give. Shop with purpose at faithmerchandise.com, featuring Dr. Faith's Miracle Lemonade. Book Dr. Faith for therapy, speaking, or ministry at drfaithreborn.com. Grow through professional connection and vocational training at theexcelproject.com. Subscribe to our monthly newsletter and follow us on socials at WAMO Ministries. Become a great motivator. Help us empower minds for success in the kingdom of God.
Yes, and we're back. We're back. So yes, we're dealing with rethink your thinking. That is so rudimentary, so fundamental. And if we get that aspect of it right, it will set the path for, I'm telling you, next level, the next level, the next level. So before change our behavior changes. Before behavior changes, thinking must change. All right, it's sequential. So here are three mindset shifts that unlock progress. So I believe in just trying to give you the tools because sometimes what we need sometimes is not what we should do or can do, but we need tools, all right, to make it practical and reachable for you. All right. So replace what if I fail? That's very important with what if I learn. And if you go back in history, most great inventions had many failures before it became successful. And I can speak on that myself, my own failures that brought on success. And it keeps on bringing success because that's just the way it works. So it's really about your perspective on things that sets you to really achieve your goals. All right. So replace that what if I fail with what if I learn. Research from Stanford psychologist Dr. Carol Dweck shows that individuals who adopt a growth mindset are more likely to persist, adapt, and succeed. All right. Failure is not a verdict. It's only let you know where you are. All right. It's only a feedback. Let you know what you need to adjust, what you need to work on, get rid of, reshape, rehash. Those are very nice words, right? Yeah. Redo, continue, persist, right? Never give up, never quit. That's what failure looks like. It gives you those feedback and let you know how you can still overcome and make it. So you want to know how to start before you feel ready. Too many of us often want to feel ready. Tonight, for instance, I didn't feel ready. I did not. Let me tell you, I felt like I was going to say no more show tonight. Just can we just cancel it? The feeling told me that, but I told myself I'm going to do the show. So I didn't let the feeling dictate my action. So if you feel like, you know what, this is hard or this is difficult or whatever, that's okay. Perfectly fine. But now the trick is to do in spite of what you feel. All right. That is the secret to the entire thing. Um, Studies on entrepreneurship consistently consistently show that over planning delays action. Over planning delays action. According to research published in the Journal of Business Venturing, entrepreneurs who launch quickly and iterate learning I'm sorry, iterate learning faster than those who spend excessive time planning, right? So when you take action that way, right, they learn faster than those who spend excessive time planning. And that's a very interesting point. Momentum, what builds confidence. I saw something 7, 8 months ago. And if I tell you where I'm at now, 7 months later, you'll be shocked. But I'm holding for another show and another time. It's a big secret, but it's massive. All because of one small step. One small step. It's so funny because I was on the web some time ago, maybe 4 months ago, maybe. And I said, let me try and see if I can find another entertainment platform that, I can maybe add to what I have already. Because sometimes some don't give you all you want, you know, and the more you have, the more you can pick from. And I'm trying to transition into doing less of the outside, have to be there kind of work. I love it. I'm grateful that I can go and play at these different social events, my horn, and and sometimes the money is pretty nice. It helps a lot. it beats a second job for sure. People treat you nice, and it's great. But I'm thinking that I want to do a little transition out of that regimen because I am talking about passive income. I want to do some more traveling. I want to do so. I did it many years ago, but in a group setting in the band where it was like work in a way because we were singing, we were preparing. So it wasn't so much of a relaxed mindset. But I want to do it over again, more, off the clock, off the schedule. I have some things I want to do in Africa, back in my country, Jamaica, where I was born. I have plans for that country as well, and here in the States. All right, I do have some ideas, and I think that me changing this regimen will allow me to do a lot more of what I want to do as far as those things. All right, and the thing is that at this point, I have to kind of show you that I'm not just talking about it, but I'm actually living that passive income life. All right. And I'm on my way. I want to take you with me though. All right. So, but I'm definitely on my way there. And it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful feeling. And I think about the fact that when it comes to really letting you know that there are ways and means that is there and is not the big step that you have to make, is those small steps that you build on. Momentum builds confidence. All right. And think in systems or think of systems, right? Not just moments, because systems remains. You only work the system. All right. Moments come and go. Hot, cold, warm, lukewarm, windy, right? No. The system stays. All right. And when you get to the system and lock in correctly, then you will see how it works for you. Right. Then you have less hands-on and you can see how you can definitely see a progression and celebrate those progressions. Very important. Successful entrepreneurs operate through repeatable system, posting valuable content daily, following up with prospects, improving one skill each week. That's just one perspective, one aspect of it. All right, but something that you can do. You can start with that. Systems create predictable progress. All right, so some systems you can set it and it can go for you. That's why now you find that the AI age that we're living in now, you find companies are saying, you know what? I don't have to hire any people anymore. I don't have to hire so many people anymore. Or I can downsize. Or I can train what I have and have them give me maximum return because they're using systems. So think about an AI system that doesn't sleep, doesn't take breaks, doesn't have to go to the bathroom, doesn't have to take lunch break or vacation. It just keeps going, going, going. All right. And so that's something that I'm really excited about sharing with you as it relates to you having that mindset and having that sense that listen, I can build, a little at a time, which takes us right into stack and grow.
The next level, the next level, the next level with Keith.
Yeah, stack it up, stack it up, stack it up, stack it up. All right. I tell you, we got to stack and grow, y'all. Stack and grow. And I'm going to give you some of what I discovered, how we can make this stack and grow really flow. See how it works? Make this stack and grow really flow. And before we get into that, we're gonna have another moments for partners.
This moment is for builders, visionaries, and brands with purpose. If you want access, alignment, and momentum, not just motivation, this is your step forward. Join the next level with Keith channel members. Whether you're a freedom chaser, freedom supporter, next level insider, or next level builder, this is where growth gets structure and community becomes currency. And for partners with a mission, We don't just promote brands, we position purpose. Bring your cause, your company, your message, and let's amplify it with intention and impact. Membership opens the door.
Strong organizations are built on more than strategy, they're built on people. At Human Impact Development Consulting, we help organizations strengthen leadership and support staff well-being. We put clear people systems in place that actually work. From HR advisory and policy development to leadership support, we cover it all. Our approach is practical, ethical, and people-centered. If ready for clarity, confidence, and sustainable impact, visit sandrinedunkley.com. Human Impact Development Consulting, where people systems meet performance.
Yes, yes, yes. We're back with Stack and Grow. And knowledge becomes powerful when it is stacked with action. And like I said before, it could be small actions, but also consistent actions is what does it. Imagine two people attending the same online business presentation. All right. One feels excited, but waits, researches, hesitates, and eventually does nada, does nothing. See, that was great to see that kind of, aesthetics, really doing their thing. But then, not, I mean, there's folks who go to college and they have 2, 3, 4, 5 degrees, and they go for the sixth one. And if you see how they operate home, they always in this kind of, I don't get it, They never really get there. It's like they'll just live for learning, and you don't see where that's coming out anywhere. It's been shared or it's been consumed. You know, I would never want to be that way. And it's kind of why I do this program as well. It's why I do this program. Let me just confess something to you. Let me just say something to you all. If you listen to me, I am not looking for a dime if it doesn't belong to me. All right. I believe that God has showed me different ways to different times and to different individuals that He has a major blessing for me financially. All right. I have that strong confidence. I'll be honest with you to let you know that when I was building my YouTube channel, I only wanted to use my channel to share the information. I didn't even understand about talking about getting these subscription and getting paid. I didn't my mind wasn't even there. All right. I'm earning online. No, I wanted to share what I had, what I knew. And of course, I mentioned about a coach and mentorship, and it's through that I learned that I could actually maximize the platform, and it was more than just money or earning. It was a different thing that could leverage the platform if I had it monetized. All right, and thank God she was able to show me some things, give me the insight, kind of walk me along the journey, and let me see that it's not just about making money online. All right, I'm not money focused. All right, I'll tell you, I would like for you to actually like the video so somebody else can see it because, algorithms like when it's liked. And so therefore it can be shared with others. It pushes out to more people, it pushes it out so more people can see it. That's the idea of that. But if you're watching, maybe all you can do is just maybe hit the like button, maybe subscribe. That's all you can do. Hey, guess what? That says a lot because one day you may be in a position where you want someone to like what you do or to subscribe to it. Who knows? Could be a family member too. So sometimes when you do something for others, it actually comes back around to you. So I encourage you to like, subscribe. All right. I said I want to go to the 4,000 mark. Hey, why not? Let's make it happen. But getting back to Stack and Grow, The one I mentioned to you start out excited, researching, but hesitates. So of course nothing happens. The other begins small, daily actions immediately. And evidence shows the difference really matters. All right. Research by LinkedIn Learning found that professionals who continuously add complementary skills call skill stacking increase their earning potential dramatically. It's called skill stacking, and it increases their earning potential dramatically. Similarly, McKinsey research shows companies that combine digital tools, training, and marketing strategies grow significantly faster than those relying on single tactics. Action what? Compounds knowledge. And when you use that knowledge, oh my God, you become unstoppable. Stacking also creates momentum. All right. So you think about some ideas, right? And this is an activity for the freedom chasers. All right. And I want you to really pay close attention. And you may want to get a pen and write these down if you can. Some of you write really fast, unlike moi. All right. You can write this down if you want to. All right. And this is to help to promote engagement. All right. And so forth. So, activity for freedom chasers. It's called the 7 Day Action Challenge. Are you ready for this 7 Day Action Challenge? I hope so. To help you start applying knowledge today, try this simple challenge. First one is this: choose one area where you want to grow. Example: saving money, starting a blog, learn a skill. I give you one key thing. Some of you right now, we know that we're in very serious economic times. You're seeing the gas prices, you're seeing the grocery prices, and it's not looking very pretty. All right. It's costing us more, and our pay raise is not happening that fast to keep up with inflation. All right. So we know that. But let's imagine you're going to say, you know what? I'm going to take a note of everything I spent in the month of April. And we're almost there, right? And everything I spend the month of April, write it down. And at the end of April, you can say, you can figure out how much did I really spend, whether it was in junk food, whether it was just buying out or spending there or lending someone there or whatever it is. And look at that. Do a real serious inventory. I say, listen to me, can I do something better with my money? Can I be a little more responsible with my money? Can I budget better? That way you get a clear idea of how your spending is like. You can try for 2 months. All right. And that's just one idea. All right. It talks about um we can grow saving, maybe it's try to save. One thing that I've done in the past to help me is that not understanding how to do very good budgeting. I said, I'm not going to spend money. I'm just not going to spend. All right. And I end up with more money on me in my wallet at the end of the month. All right. So while I'm learning and I'm growing wise, I'm trying to just spend less. Let it be a law. Just spend less. This is what happens. All right. Number two, write down write down one small action you can take each day for the next 7 days. So you write down one small action you can take each day for the next 7 days. What could that look like? Some of you, it could be something spiritual. It could be an exercise. All right. It could be anything that you know that you've been procrastinating on or you've been lagging on, and you know it's important. All right. So you can just find out one small thing, small action you can take for the next 7 days. I would say 21 days would be perfect because it is known that after 21 days, that becomes an habit and it can be permanent. which is a good thing, right? Number three, commit to completing the action daily, no matter how small. All right, that's some action. Commit to complete that action every day, no matter how small. Number four, reflect each day on what you learned and how you felt. Reflect each day on what you learned and how you felt. Number five, at the end of the week, review your progress and plan the next steps. How does that sound? How does that sound? That's a little challenge, all right? A lot of you, I think you're going to do it. I think you're going to try to reach out for this. And maybe you're on some planet right now. Maybe you already started that journey, and this is only reminding you or affirming you or encouraging you to keep doing what you're doing. Because sometimes you can be in a path and feel like you're alone, but hearing someone else say the same thing or get the same idea comes up, it encourages you. It put a little fire under you, a little bit of steam to say, hey, I'm on the right track. I'm going to keep on going. All right. And lead us to another important segment. And this is your circle, your currency.
The next level, the next level, the, the next level, the next level with Keith.
Yes, a little sip of water is a good thing sometimes. Mm, yes, so grateful to be alive and have my health, you know? Yes, your circle, your currency. Environment shapes expectations, and you cannot underestimate the environment that you are around. People you're around from you were a child until now. And sometimes, if you look at where you are right now and take a close look and say, what have what has my circle been like or looked like for the last 10 years? Who did I spend most of my time with? Who was my friend or my closest friend? What were the conversations about? You know, uh, the church you went to, the message they preached, was it more of a doom and gloom? Was it more inspirational? Was it more introspective? Was it more judgmental? Was it more legalistic? Everything that we are close to and words that we consider to be important to us speaks volume and affects us as to how we're going to go about maximizing our circle. Um, Environment shapes expectation. It does. Harvard research, Dr. David McClellan found that people tend to adopt the habits and income levels of the group they spend the most time with. That's interesting finding there. But based on statistics, that it seems to be true all across the board. Uh, if your environment doubts opportunity, doubt grows. If your environment encourages growth, action follows. Three common barriers appear quite a bit, and these are the barriers. One, past failures creating emotional walls. A lot of people they're really looking back at past failures, all right, and it has a sticking effect on them, a very claw-like hold on them emotionally, and it's really sad. And it's nice when those folks can break out of it, and it can happen, with the right people, and it begins with changing your environment. And if you put a fish in a small tank, especially the goldfish that I used to have when I was younger, in a small tank, uh, for years, they're only going to grow to a certain size. Take the same fish and put them in a much bigger tank. And given a few weeks, months, you will not believe in the same fish that you had bought. They grow bigger, bigger environment, bigger thinking, right? It's interesting because, like I said, I do play my saxophone at different events, and I have a corporate function coming up, a corporate function, and I've done quite a few corporate functions over the last number of years. And I've gone to meetings where they had, they were celebrating their millionaire status, millionaire clubs, and some of those I call it clubs, you know, the upper echelons, you know what I'm saying? The bourgeois, as some would say. And you would hear them speak. You would hear them how they converse. You hear how they relate. And it's a whole different level. It's always building on something, adding on to something, growing, expanding, expansion. Always hearing that language because that's the environment they're in. And of course, a lot of them do have, we call it, they're very competitive too. All right. So sometimes it's friendly. Sometimes it might be, it might be a bit, you know, they have their motives as to why they want to be the bigger one or the biggest one. So they want to hear your story, see where you at. So then I can top yours. So next time when we come again, you're going to hear my story, how I grew my company from X to this or from that to that. A lot of time when they share information, they're trying to see where you are, where you're at, to figure out, how far they need to go or what they need to do to get to your level or beyond your level, or to stay above your level. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting how that works. But your environment again is really, 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 really key. I did give a story some time ago when I talked about I had an event when there was a millionaire came to me and he said, "Man, I like your playing. You sound pretty good. How long you been playing? And when you just start playing?" And I started asking him questions myself. You asking me questions, well, I'm going to ask you questions too. And so I said, "You look like a pretty sharp fellow, relatively young. How did you get to your level of success?" He said, "Well, you know, two things really. You listen, you take action. That's all. So you listen, you take action. That's what we do. And we go to another level. We listen some more, new information, we take action. Another high level, listen some more, and take action. That's how we become millionaires. All right, and we stay that way. And that never left me. That resonated with me very much. And that's why I tell folks all the time that we do have it in us. All right, sometimes we do have these dreams and visions, and we feel sometimes powerless. We feel like we can't do it. And sometimes we don't have the tools in place, and that's what I hope. That's what I'm hoping that shows like this can do. Can give you some tools, some little key points, nuggets that you can build from. That's the idea of what it is. And like I said earlier, I believe that we're coming into an economic storm. We're gonna we're gonna be seeing, I believe, a financial crisis in the near future. I'm not here to speak doom and gloom, but there's always winners in these days. Even when those days happen, they're always winners. And it's not because they were all lucky. It's because they made preparation before it happened. And they didn't become a reactive personality, a reactive, they didn't take the reactive method. They took the proactive method. All right. And I believe that we should all have at least 6 months to 1 year of savings. We should have 6 months to 1 year of savings. Also, we should be able to have something that we can be mobile, have some kind of mobile business where we have to leave from state to another state or into another country. We can do it in a mobile manner because that's the world that we're in today. We're in the world today where people are traveling and all they have is a laptop or a phone and they're doing just fine. All they have is Wi-Fi, a phone, or a laptop, some electronic device, and they're fine. You have the ability to get to that same level because of the world that we're living in. All right. Yes. So looking at three common barriers that people let really impact them. One is past failures creating emotional walls. Two, negative influence from people who never tried. So you have people who encourage you who never had an experience, never know what failure is like in that sense. They always tend to, be on the safe side. They just go to work every day, come home, and that's fine. I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. But you who want to move from that kind of experience, hang around these kind of people, it can hold you back, right? And again, failure of experiencing disappointment. Again, you might have had disappointment in the past, failure in the past, and you're wondering, will it happen again? Well, I'm saying this to you. If I was worried about that after failing so many times, what happened 7 months ago would never happen. That's all I can say. If I'd worry about my last 15 years of failures online, what happened 7 months ago would never happen. All right. So I'm glad I was still able to say, you know what? Let's do this. Let's keep going. Keep trying, Keith. Never stop. Quitters never win, and winners never quit. All right. So a circle is where everything can change. A circle changes everything. So if you have not made change your circle, try that. If you have not changed your circle, try that. Even this podcast could be another part of your circle. So your circle doesn't have to be people within your local space that they can touch, feel, or not. It's just who you surround yourself with, as far as could be an information base, could be a spiritual base, you know what I'm saying? It could be a financial base, right? And it doesn't have to be a lot of people either. All right. But the point is that who are you now paying most close attention to right now? All right. A lot of folks spend a lot of time watching the news, which is so negative, and it affects them on a emotional level, spiritual level, psychological level, subconscious level. I'm telling you, it does. Bad news every day. I know the people with apps that tell you when something is wrong in the community, something going on in the community, and it beeps you. This store got robbed. Somebody got stolen. This person got killed. That person's on fire. That person got abducted. And they're hearing this all day long on their phones, right? And so they're not building up fear, anxiety, discomfort. That's why sometimes they're crippled when it comes to doing something. It's really about they put themselves in survival mode, and their thing is that, will I get to work and back home? That's their daily task. Will I be able to get to work or get outside and come back home safe? Nothing has happened. All right, and they do a lot of sleeping because they're not motivated. But that's not a story. So yes, we do have, like I said, partners that we do highlight here, and it's always a joy to highlight partners. Here we go with another moment for partners.
This moment is for builders, visionaries, and brands with purpose. If you want access, alignment, and momentum, not just motivation, this is your step forward. Join the next level with Keith channel members. Whether you're a freedom chaser, freedom supporter, next level insider, or next level builder, this is where growth gets structure and community becomes currency. And for partners with a mission, we don't just promote brands. We position purpose. Bring your cause, your company, your message, and let's amplify it with intention and impact. Membership opens the door.
Gospel Foundation International Healing Ministries is a Bible-based ministry. Through worship, prayer, and deliverance, we help individuals find restoration. We equip believers to build stronger families and healthier communities. Footprints of Faith Radio shares real stories of healing and hope. Bible Talk for Children helps kids develop strong moral foundations. Apply for sponsored digital advancement support for growing your reach. Your support makes this possible. We're aiming for a $500 monthly goal. Support, partner, or give today at gfihministries.org/give.
It's a place that's real.
Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. So I want to let you know that, when I actually thought about how I would actually shape my podcast, and what I wanted to really share, and I thought about money and how it moves, and the mobility of it, and how we can incorporate things, that we already have, all right, and how we can utilize those things to really make things happen. Uh, it's a beautiful thing. It really is. It's good to know that we're not confined to just being at one place, but we can move freely and still be effective. All right. Um, I was just talking about just now having the ability or creating the situation where you can have a year worth of savings, emergency funds. I believe that if I had a good strategy many years ago, I would have had that now. But I don't have it now. I don't have that year worth of savings. And I'm working towards a 6 months worth of emergency funds. But if I had applied the right technique and the right understanding many years ago, that might have been a pretty easy thing right now to see in place. Anyway, I won't spend too much time on the past and what could have, would have, should have, but I'm looking to the future and what is going to be because of the steps I'm taking now for it to happen. So if you look at mobile money moves and that kind of thing, you look at technology, all right, because that's really the capsule of that. And now we are fortunate to have these things at our fingertips. Technology has changed the economic landscape dramatically, right? Evidence from Pew Research Center show that over 85% of adults now own smartphones, making mobile technology one of the most powerful economic tools ever created. That is serious. There are three key advantages exist today. Three key advantages that exist today. One, business from a smartphone, making payments, marketing, communicating, even customer service can be now managed from a mobile device. When it comes to my gig events, how do I get my notification on my phone? How do I respond to these clients with my phone? How do I get the email follow up with my phone? How do I send a text to them with my phone? How do I send a payment method through my phone? How does the payment come? Through my phone. How does it get to the bank? Through my phone. How do I get a withdrawal? Through my phone. Folks, this is serious. But the reality is that we have so much capabilities right now. And the thing is that we're not utilizing it the way we can or should. And there are different levels and things that we can do with our phones. All right. Two, global reach. The internet removes geographical limits. Entrepreneurs can connect with customers worldwide. I connect with people in Africa, in Asia, in the Caribbean, in Europe. I have right from the comfort of my home on my phone. That's powerful. All right. So a lot of us who are not seeing what we want to see, we have no excuse. We're just being extremely, we'll call it procrastinative in nature. We're just being very lazy. You want to put it bluntly, where we don't need to be. All right. And yeah, and as a matter of fact, and the third one, is very important, is automation tools. Platforms now allow individuals to automate marketing, scheduling, and sales processes. This efficiency once required large teams. Today, it fits in your pocket. It's funny because right now, today, I have my hands on a tool. I want to hear me clearly. Today, as we speak, I have my hands on a tool that I can just put your email right now, and it will market to you for 90 days. Anybody can do this. It will market to you, whether it's going to be a product, a presentation, business plan, whatever, for 90 days. In the industry of the online space, research show that it is not the first time people see something that they purchase or buy. It's not the first time or even the second time. Most people become consumers or buyers, or they accept something after seeing it 5 to 7 times. So if I market something really nice, super friendly, super cost effective for 90 days, that's way beyond 7 times. What are the chances that you may uptake that service or product? Very high chance. The system does the work. And like I say to the system, make this warm and friendly. Make this of a sense of urgency. Make this conscientious and warm. Make this formal. Make it businesslike, but yet still make it have a soft tone. Folks, why? Well, we can get into the whys, but the fact is that when you keep stacking, keep digging, you're going to find gold. So a lot of what I may do, or you may see people do online, you don't have to do it yourself. You can read from it. All right. When I type in into my Google or in one of the AI tools, I didn't make the AI. I didn't create those information in the AI. I didn't do that. I did not. But guess what happened? I put my little part in there and the rest comes. All right. I put my little piece in there and the rest comes. Someone went and did the heavy lifting, the heavy work, so I can benefit from it. All right. And it's a powerful thing. And that's why one of the most important things we can do is take action. One of the most important things that we can do is take action. Here's the empowering truth. Most people already apply knowledge every day. Fact. They learn apps, troubleshoot phones, and adapt to new technology constantly. Facts. The same ability can build an online income stream. It can. Consistency already exists in daily habits. A lot of things that you do already, you do it every day. But if you change those particular patterns or habits, you get different results. Some things you do every single day. There are folks who always check their phones. They always respond to almost every single notification. It's like an addiction. It goes the thing goes off, you check your phone. I've even seen ads where you have like a child and the mom's at the sink washing the dishes or cooking, and the child will make a sound that the phone makes. The mom thinks it's the phone sending a notification, and she comes over every single time the child fakes the sound as if it's her phone making the sound. Why? She's now has an addiction, almost a habit of always checking a notification. That's a habit. So imagine you get into something now where what are you checking on is giving you value to you every time. It's you're stacking on. You're growing. Imagine that. So it's not that we don't have these ongoing things. We do repeat things. We do persistent things. But the question is that what are those things? All right. Redirect even a small portion of that energy toward productive systems, and progress becomes inevitable. It's going to happen. It's going to be an outcome of that. Action doesn't require perfection. A lot of you out there are perfectionists. I'll say it again. Action does not require perfection. It requires direction. Yes, and this has been a real cool segment for me. I tell you, if you know the way I felt before I started, my God, I got to give God thanks for this segment here. This segment is very special to me. And I'm telling you, man, I tell you, dealing with these amazing backstage individuals, producers, and the coaches and the engineers, I can't express my thanks and my gratefulness towards what you're doing for me and how you've aided me in this process. And I just hope that this will be seen by not only many, but many will actually take from this what they need and go to the next level. Action will begin to take shape because I think that many people are taking action, but they're limiting their actions to maybe a post, right? Maybe feedback, and that's cool. But like I said in the beginning, I'm not trying here to get you into anything in terms of just for getting you into anything's sake. My job is pretty much done as far as some things that I needed to do for myself, my old financial pathway. It's already done. I already believe in the source. I already have the source. I think it's given me the tools, the equipment, the circle. I have it all already. I really do. And I believe that it's just going to be more manifestation as the days go by, as the weeks go by, as the months go by. All right. And there's going to be more testimonials of just more and more and more because my heart desire is not to hoard, all right, but to help, to share, to touch somebody else. And my final thought for this episode is this: knowledge is abundant, but success belongs to those who apply what they know. You don't need to know everything to begin. You simply need to start. Knowledge opens the door. Applied knowledge walks through it. This is the next level with Keith. And guess what? Your next move begins now. God bless you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you again. Thank you, my producers, engineers. God bless you. And I see you all on my next episode 14 next week. Take care and God bless.
If today's episode spoke to you, it's because you're ready. Ready for your money to work for you. Ready for practical steps, not just motivation. Ready for faith-led financial freedom. Ready to build stability, peace, and confidence for your family. You're not alone on this journey. The Next Level isn't just a podcast. It's a movement toward freedom, one episode at a time. Stay connected. Listen anytime at podcast.keithmerritt.com. Explore the Next Level Movement Hub. Subscribe on YouTube at Keith Merritt. Like, share, comment. Your engagement helps this message reach more families. Take your next step. Visit keithmerritt.com/impact/the next level. Subscribe for the latest blog from the Freedom Resource Hub and join the Next Level Resource Network. Choose the hub that fits your journey: music and speaking, family protection, digital learning, passive income, or Keith's book and reading hub. Press play. Take action. Your next level is calling.